Hi guys, as promised, here's a new Unreal Engine tutorial about turning the default third-person player, the mannequin, into the Paragon character Crunch. The Crunch character has a nice idle animation. This is the idle combat, and I will use this animation as the default for the player. Okay, so let's delete this again, and then I select the third-person character, and for the skeletal mesh, I will use the Crunch mesh. He's quite huge, but that's okay. And as you can see, we don't have an anim class anymore, so we have to create two things. The first one is a blend space to blend between the idle combat and the walk animation. Or I think for this character, the walk animation is called jog. So I create a blend space 1D for the Crunch skeleton. Then I will name it idle jog and open it. Here we have the horizontal axis that are called speed, and the maximum axis value are set to 375, just like it is configured for the animation blend space of the mannequin. The target weight interpolation are set to 5. I found out that this is a good value for blending animations. After that, I drag in the animations that I want to blend. First the idle combat animation to the value 0 for the speed. And for the walk animation, I use jog forward, and I drag this here to the maximum value to 375. Now the preview looks a bit strange, but you will see that it will come out nicely later in the game. Alright, the next thing we need is an animation blueprint, also for the Crunch skeleton, that I call idle jog BP. Then I open it and add a variable named speed of type float. After that, I add a new state machine. Just right click and search for state. And then double click to open it. And this is the simple state machine possible because it contains just one state, idle jog. I drag this out here and set the name. Double click the state now and it will be opened. And for this state I use the blend space that we created in the previous step. I search it here and drag it into the editor, and then I connect it to the result of the final animation pose. As input for the blend space, I use the speed variable. After that, I switch to the event graph to set the value of the speed variable, and this is defined by the player's velocity. First I check if the pawn owner is valid by using a isValid node. Then I add the speed variable as setter node and connect it to the output of the isValid node. To get the value of the player's movement speed, drag out a getVelocity node, and from this one get the length of the vector. Now you can set the speed variable to this length. Okay, when you have a look at the compiler results, you can see that we missed to connect the state machine to the result of the final animation pose. So let's do this. Now when you change the speed variable, the animation will be played according to the blend space. Then I go back to the Unreal Engine editor and assign the new blueprint to the anim class of the third person character And when I start the game now, we have a Paragon Crunch character as my player. With that I can move around in the map. What is missing is the jump animation. He is still walking when he jumps, but I will explain how to add the jump animation in the next tutorial, which will be about improving the player setup. So I hope you find this tutorial useful, and if you have any questions, add them to the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you want to help it grow, please be my patron to support it. Thanks for watching guys, thanks for your support, and see you soon on JNM.